Are third-generation Americans just Americans? She is American, with Chinese heritage. First-gen are Americans. There is a difference between nationality and ethnicity. American is a nationality, not an ethnicity. Even Native Americans are not a homogeneous group. It's not black and white. People can have multiple identities. She's definitely American. She's also culturally Chinese. The language, holidays, traditions, etc. are a big part of her life. Americans aren't the only ones who do this. My friend grew up in Guyana, but her grandparents were from India and most of her local community was part of that immigrant community. She considers herself Guyanese and Indian. Also, have you never been to Italian or Irish neighborhoods in big US cities? Even several generations down, there's still a huge Italian influence and many people consider themselves Italian American. Most big cities around the world have similar communities. I don't see why you can't have multiple identities. US-born Asians of all ethnicities do this because it helps foster a sense of community and being proud of your heritage. I'm ethnically Chinese, in San Francisco, born and raised, and now work. I'm an American, but I am also Chinese American. In the same way I identify as a Californian or a San Franciscan. I don't identify as Chinese, in the sense that I'm from China. Because I am not. I'm American through and through. But the extra appellation is just putting some respect on where my roots are from. This is something you see with many Asian diaspora in America. And very much a local thing because I am pretty sure in other countries. When you assimilate you just identify as your new country. This is especially prevalent because historically in America, Asianness is seen as monolithic. And thusly Asian diaspora like to specify if we are ethnically Chinese or Indian or Korean or etc. You see it everywhere when our Americanness is questioned or we are asked where we really are from. But IDK how true this is in 2024. When I was a kid in the mid-2000s it was absolutely still happening. Which a lot of Asian diaspora internalize. Edit. Other commenters below me add, this is not a uniquely Asian experience. If one belongs to any minority ethnic group, they will have experienced something similar or have belonged to enclaves and communities where their ethnic identities help them to belong. Nobody is really anything in reality. These are all just cultural constructs you're arguing about, hence the huge potential for disagreements. What kind of weird dickhead cares enough to argue with people about their ethnicity? Mind your own business. American is a nationality, Chinese is an ethnicity. You can be both. It's because you're white. Yes, she is. Americans have a weird habit of clinging on to past heritage, but the rest of the world doesn't view nationality like that. She's part of the Chinese diaspora and she's Chinese American, but that's different from being Chinese. She is American. She is also ethnically Chinese. If you want to consider yourself French American, you absolutely can. One thing is nationality and the other is ethnicity. No reason to be a dick to people about who they want to identify as. She is Chinese and American. Chinese is her heritage. She is American by citizenship. Your mom being Korean does make you Korean. The problem is that you are using adjectives that modify nouns as nouns. You are of Korean heritage. You are of American citizenship. It's as if you have brown hair and white skin and ask if you are brown or white in color. Why are you even starting this argument with her? Yeah, this is a silly thing us Americans do and the rest of the world laughs at us for doing it. We don't have much of an actual national identify. Or at least we are made to feel that we can't identify with, just that we need something else. So we make everyone feel like they have to cling to other identifiers. Like, my grandparents immigrated from Scotland. I'm not Scottish. I've never stepped foot in the place. No. True. Scotsman would ever consider me Scottish. Lol. But us Americans like to say that. Same with any country. Go to Italy and tell them your great-grandparents are Italian, so thus you are Italian. You'll get laughed out of the country. Go to Mexico and tell them you're Mexican because of your abuelita, even though you've never been there. Watch how they call a gringo in denial. It's a funny quirk we have. Chinese is an ethnicity as much as it is a nationality. So it's still totally valid for her to claim to be ethnically Chinese, regardless of how long her family has lived in the United States. Also, how she identifies is her decision to make, and nobody else's. In general, the polite response to her saying she's Chinese is to just leave the matter at that. She was answering her ethnicity, you were asking her nationality. My question for you. Did you know Americans talk about their ancestry this way before you had this conversation or not? Any citizen is American. The generation is irrelevant. We all came here at some point. If whole family speak Chinese at home, eat Chinese food, watch Chinese TV, it's hard to argue they feel American. Legally, yes.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.